right, everybody, welcome back. Sam's Army match week number 30. We got a lot to talk about this week. We're going to start with the Premier League, where we'll discuss Chelsea's Chuddles, Bruno's brilliance, and a twin toilet bowls preview coming up this weekend. Halftime will be an AFCON related weekly what if. Rest around the world, we're missing our spicy minute man, so we will touch on Champions League briefly and maybe a word or two on U.S. men's national team roster, and then stoppage time with Ivan Toney's best bets and everybody's favorite segment, GOAWs. Now, time to welcome in this week's panel of beauties. We got a party question for everybody since the NCAA tournament is starting this week. I go on a trip so I do like an annual thing for this week for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was just wondering if you guys, is there anything, we'll start with Mikey Fowler. Is there anything that you do like on a traditional annual basis for the NCAA tournament, or am I kind of like a weirdo for this?
It's a bit boomer, I gotta say, of you. It used to be like the joke at everybody that's your age is like, hey, if you need to get a vasectomy, this is when you do it. Like, you're one of those guys, you know what I mean? And it's like,
oh my God,
it's no different than a lot of big days of sport. I think you guys all need to relax.
That's a hard no. So what do you do on the Thursday and Friday? You just go
watch
to work
it on my laptop while I work like a normal person.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
I don't need the boss button. Remember how cool the boss button was, Sam? That's such a you thing. I
actually do remember that. Thankfully, I've worked from home for so long that I never really had to worry about that. But I do remember everybody talking about the boss button.
Yeah, all see, right. Exactly. You love it. Point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Speaking of bosses, the man who doesn't have one at the moment, Mr. Mitchell Goulet. What?
He never had a boss, by the way.
That's fair. You're your own boss. What do you do for NCAA tournament? Any traditions?
No. It's crazy that you would think other people also have traditions for like the Thursday and Friday of March Madness.
You're right. It's just like, I think Mikey was getting at the Masters weekend is the big one for everybody to get their vasectomies. I know that's a different age group than you. It's true. It's true. I know all about it. I have not gotten it, but I know about it. All right, back to you though. So what do you do? Nothing?
I don't do anything. I sit and I watch it with as many screens as I can access at the time. And I don't hit the boss button. I think, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have anything. I don't have any thoughts on this. I'm just gonna watch it like every other normal person and not plan a whole trip around.
Oh, well, first of all, trips are trips, and trips are fun.
Great, yeah, enjoy.
I'm not gonna allow you to shit on my annual trip here.
No.
Have fun.
It's fun. We go somewhere different every year. We've been doing it now.
Sounds like you guys hate your wives, is what I hear.
No, Mikey, don't get me in trouble here.
She doesn't listen to this.
We don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble.
Okay. Have fun.
No, it's a fun trip. We go somewhere different every year.
Sometimes it stretches to 2-3 weeks.
No, listen.
Where is it this year? Are you willing to dox yourself, or at least give us like?
Yeah, can we go? Can I come?
Yeah.
We
don't have plans
this year. Yeah, Bozeman, Montana is where we're going.
See, this is
is this a bit?
You're going to a place with the lowest amount of TVs, I'd imagine, in the world too, which is ironic.
You don't think they have TVs in Montana?
I don't think they have a lot of.
They got like a dozen of them. You're going to. You were like, all right, I'm getting pumped for my Bozeman.
I was thinking
Vegas,
or like, yeah.
We go somewhere different every year, so we've already ticked off the obvious ones. We've already done the Vegas.
Sorry to belabor on this, but don't you think your wives would want to go on a trip with you once a year?
Yeah, that's a different trip. You're fishing for something to get me in trouble with here. My God, that's a different trip.
All right,
Mikey.
Sorry, we'll get into it. I hope your bets all hit. Can you even gamble in Montana?
No. You can get
weed. Oh my God.
But you can't gamble. Listen, I got a guy.
You're going to a state where oh my God.
It wasn't, that part was not brilliant, but you can go to a casino. I've actually done a little Google research on this if you can't tell. You can go to a casino and play sports wagering.
No better casinos than Bozeman.
That's what they say.
You have no idea. Oh, thank you, though. Thank you. Now, hit me up. Anybody else listening, if you got some thoughts on Bozeman, since I know there are some big brain, very upstanding people out there who have been to Bozeman, let me know if you got any tips on what to do. All right, move on. Actually, to do that, you should get in the Sam's Army Patreon and get in the Discord, because we'll be talking about Bozeman there, I'm sure, at some point. And
in the next
get in
10
the
minutes.
No, I'll be asking these guys. I'm sure that somebody has been to Bozeman in the Discord. We got 100 people who are just, just big brains. I'm sure some people have been there. All right. Anyway, Sam's Army Patreon. Get in and now $3.99 a month, and we'll move on. Premier League time. Well, it was not a weekend to write home about, really, for anybody. I think it had to have been one of the lowest scoring weekends on record. I didn't do any math on that. That's just sort of a vibes take. But look at the results. There were 2 games that went over 3.5, and most of the other ones were under 2.5, if not under 1.5 or just 0.5. Very low scoring. So Liverpool, Tottenham, the highest profile, one of the highest profile matches. We tied 1-1. Look at us. And then, by the way, we're taping this live while the Champions League going on. Xavi Simons just scored a second goal for Tottenham. So we now have a draw and a win in quick succession. We are on our way, boys and girls. We are back. We are so back. Probably not. Anyway, other games. United beat Villa 3-1. Very impressive. Chelsea lost Newcastle 1-0. West Ham drew with City. West Ham is becoming a problem here. Not a big fan of that. Anyway, 0-0 between Burnley Bournemouth, Palace Leeds, and Forest Fulham. A lot of 0-0. Sunderland lost to Brighton 1-0, and Brentford and Wolves finished up the weekend on Monday 2-2. Quite a fun game, actually. All right, Mitch or Mikey, we'll start with you. From the weekend, which of the results were you sort of most interested to see?
Obviously, the whole story coming away from the weekend was Arsenal's result into City's result. I think you can package those as the same thing. I believe, and this is just the part of me that likes to think that these guys watch everything that we do, when in reality they don't. I think if Arsenal don't win or take all 3 points from that match, I think that could have deflated City heading into their match a little bit and compounded the result in a way that I'm very grateful for, and I think all Arsenal fans are. But I think the story of the weekend was Arsenal turning it around late, leading into City's result. I don't think that they're not connected. I believe they are connected. So I feel pretty strongly about that. I think Pep changed his outfit when he saw the result and went with something a little more casual, like he doesn't care, When they're winning, he's in. By the way, when he's winning, don't listen to all the corniness. But when he's winning, he's in a nice turtleneck and he's form fitting, and there's brand names on the shirts. When he's losing, he's wearing picnic tablecloths like he did the other day. So he's lost the plot completely.
So you're looking for him to show up in like board shorts and
I truthfully think he changed when Arsenal scored the go-ahead goal in the 88th minute. I believe that in the bottom.
Now that game itself was rather deflating for me personally, because obviously a tough weekend. I thought Everton were actually going to hold on and see it through. Gyökeres with the late winner, and then your 16-year-old wonderkind, or whatever you guys are calling him, with the goal to finish off 2-0. Any thoughts on that one, Mitch?
Yeah, your ability to mispronounce words is second to none.
Incredible.
It's really special. Incredible. Yeah, a hell of a moment, hell of a call on the broadcast, and no better way and no more confident way to get your first Premier League goal and become the youngest Premier League goal scorer in history than a nice little breakaway on a counter where they had the goalkeeper pulled up. It's just like you get to soak in the entirety of the moment from when he picks the ball up in our half of the field and then beats a man and then just kind of is in on his own. There's a build up to it that felt really special and felt really good. And you could feel the energy and the pop in the stadium at the time too. Like, that's a moment that we're all going to remember and look back on in 20 years when we're erecting the statue and say, damn, that was a big moment.
I was wondering where you're going with that. Okay, statue. I'm glad.
I certainly was erect, Mitch.
Mikey was erect about a 16-year-old. So let's keep that in mind. Probably not the first time. So I'm actually very happy for you guys, and I mean that not really, but like that. Honestly, that weekend, this past weekend, it felt like I don't want to say turning point. It just felt like shit. You guys really probably are going to win the title this year, and with City, they keep dropping points. This time to West Ham of all teams. this could not be going worse for somebody who is like hopeful, if not prayerful, on you guys doing what you've done so many times in the past, and folding down the stretch. It just doesn't. This doesn't feel like that's going to happen this year. And I'm not saying that in a reverse jinx type of thing. It just doesn't feel like it. If any team is going to fold, it might be City. The only thing that's kind of making me feel a little bit better is them crashing out of the Champions League here and you guys moving on. I think that does help a little bit in the fact that, they can just concentrate on this, on one competition after this weekend, after the League Cup final, where they, interestingly enough, play you guys. So yeah, I wonder if that game, what do you guys think about the League Cup final? Will that have any impact on sort of, you're talking about mentality and mindset, everything, and Pep's outfits?
Yeah,
do you think that game will have an impact on the next couple months?
Yeah, that result's going to bleed into their matchup 2 weeks after or 3 weeks after. It's going to linger on everyone's brain over a long international break, which just by pure, scheduling wise, we're going to have a lot of time to chew on it either way. It can't not. I think City's going to view it as a chance to puff their chest. And at the end of the year, if they don't win anything, say like, on any given day, we're better than you. We just don't have it for 38 anymore. You guys, blah, blah, blah. I think they want to show that they play a more beautiful brand. I think the way that they're talking in press conferences and communicating, at least outwardly, is that they do have kind of a complex to them where they have to feel like they're the best. So this is a chance for them to showcase that on one day. So I don't think it's a small, meaningless moment at all in the way these teams feel when they match up in a couple weeks after that. An Arsenal win could take, after this Champions League week that City have had, an Arsenal win on Sunday could really deflate the sales over there.
What do you think about the game itself, Mitch? Are you confident? Are you nervous? What do you think?
Yeah, the game itself, if we're just talking about it in a vacuum and not in the terms of like the greater league chase, I like us. I really do, based on largely on form right now and on who's healthy. City are coming off of couple like back-to-back real disappointing results in the league and in the Champions League. I just like where our heads are at right now, but I can see them getting up for a game and thinking, okay, maybe the league is a little bit out of reach right now, but for this trophy, for this one day, for 90 minutes, we can go on and be superior. And that's something that they're going to want to hang their hat on. Like Mikey said, like this is a opportunity for them to be able to say we were better than you on a neutral field on any given day. We know you love a neutral field hypothetical. So I still like us, but this is not a standalone game. This has a ton of context around it.
Mikey, any thoughts on the game?
No, I don't think I can add anything that you can't find when people are going to dissect this thing a lot on podcasts that go into team specific details. And I think I'm going to fail to convey that in a proper way. So I'm excited. And I hope that you all get used to a really, really, really ugly style of football. Cause I think we're going to try our best to make that happen.
For 180 minutes over the course of the next.
Yeah. And I don't give a shit.
No, listen, we're gonna be pillaring you with that for the next couple months, and unfortunately, that might be all we have. So get used to it. All right, that game's on Sunday. Other games, so not the best game, not the most interesting game by any stretch of the imagination, but Chelsea losing to Newcastle was interesting, almost more for the pregame bullshit that took place with this little Chuddle. This little huddle that Chelsea keeps doing around the center circle before the game that other teams are getting kind of annoyed with. The ref, I think, it was Paul Tierney, I think the reason that he stood in the middle of it is because he is annoyed with it. He didn't want it to happen. It was very strange. It was one of those kind of very awkward moments where the ref is in the middle of this huddle. The players are looking at him like, why are you here? He's looking at them like, you guys shouldn't be here. Everybody's talking about it on the internet. Rosenior is probably writing some little doodles in his fucking notebook. It was quite a scene all the way around. I thought when they did the huddle against Villa, I think it was against Villa last week, I was like, okay, that's interesting. Nice little sort of mentality warfare thing. But if you're going to make this like a an actual thing and do this every game, yeah, I'm out. This thing is dumb,
dude. This is all about Liam.
It's so weird. We were talking about it before we got on. He's the most he's the most performative person, I think, in the history of the world. I don't think he actually has any sort of unique thoughts or whatever. He's just like, what would make people talk about me the most on the internet? And I'm going to do that.
I have a question that I want to pose to both of you. So he, after the fact, distanced himself from the fact that huddle was around the referee. He was like, that was a decision from the players. I had nothing to do with that. Do you think he saw the reaction online and then distanced himself and said, no, I had no part in that? Or do you think in the locker room ahead of the game, he was like, lads, I want to circle up. I don't care if the referee is smack dab in the middle of it. You are forming a huddle around him because he wants people to talk about the absurdity of whatever he is directing his players to do. Do you think that was a directive from him, or do you think that truly was the players being weird?
It makes all the sense in the world for him to just kind of go with however the internet wind is blowing. So I could see him kind of telling them in the locker room. My guess is that he told them to do it maybe one time, or suggested maybe they do this. Suggested wink, maybe you do this before like the Villa game. And now he's just saying, listen, it's up to the players. I don't know. So I think that he has like there's a little bit of wiggle room there. Mikey, what do you think?
Okay.
I'll answer your question with a question. With Reece James not playing, who can you picture on that team coming up with that idea?
That's fair. Enzo? Maybe Enzo Fernandez.
I don't think he gives a fuck. His quote after the game was like, "Dude, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here." Is the first? I think that's what he said. I couldn't translate it perfectly, but
he
that's what it sounded like.
The guy that's bringing everybody together.
No, he's not a we guy. Are you kidding me? Who would it be though? For real, think about this.
But I don't think that this is bringing anybody together. I think this is
but it's somebody's idea of trying to do that. It's definitely things that
Rosenior came up with it originally, and now.
You turn to gimmicks when you don't have a foundation, right? Gimmicks are like if you can't run the ball on a defense, you run a trick play. So and I really believe that teams that don't have an identity or a foundation try shit like this. And sometimes it galvanizes, like Cowboy up Red Sox. We said some dumb shit and now everyone's in love with each other. But oftentimes you just look like an absolute ass out there. So I think Liam does a lot of these things. The notepad thing, everything about him is a thing, which tells me that he's not great at his job. And I think everybody else feels the same way. And like I told you 3 weeks ago, I don't think he finishes the season with Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't think he's long for that job, just based on...
You thought I was crazy when I said that. You were like, they gave him a 3-year deal. I'm like, that doesn't fucking matter.
I never said that. Nobody believes anything.
Terrence definitely did then.
Terrence probably did. But 3 years, nobody cared. Like, first of all, nobody cares about any team giving a long-term contract, but Chelsea especially. Like, that's worth absolutely, dog water.
Yeah, fair. Totally fair. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the on Liam. Which, by the way, I call him Liam because we talked about this before the show, but he's definitely, his mates back home are all like, can you believe what Liam's doing on TV right now with Chelsea? They think he's a fucking genius. Wait till they all find out about Liam, just our buddy Liam. So that's he's Liam from now on.
The rest of the world calling him Rosenior is just incorrect. He's Liam until proven otherwise.
Coach Liam.
We'll go with Liam. I think that you hit the nail on the head with the gimmicks. He is a gimmick coach. It's gimmicky, it's performative, however you want to say it. And I think that it basically is papering over a lack of actual identity and foundation for what he's doing and knowledge about what he's doing. And you know what? That's what happens when you come in as a kind of a younger coach like this without a real resume. People just aren't going to respect you, especially us.
Elliot in the chat. Oh wait, hold on. Did I say this on this program?
No, you didn't. You said it to me, but you said it to me before when we first got on.
Yeah. Okay. So Elliot in the chat goes, he reminds me of Mike McDaniels, and it's not just because they both wear glasses and are like kind of young, trying to be cool coaches. Mike McDaniels has pissed me off from the first day he took charge of the Dolphins because he likes being in front of the camera a little too much. He wants to spit quotes like he is some guru of the sport, but he really doesn't. He doesn't have that sauce. He doesn't have that type of motion. And Rosenior is similar, where he wants to appear as smarter or funnier or wittier than the press asking him the questions. But ultimately, he's just kind of like, he just doesn't have it. He doesn't have that it factor. Elliot, you're spot on, brother. We are great minds thinking alike here. He's very Mike McDaniels coded.
I can see it. Isn't this maybe just a generational thing? I mean, you're talking about two of the youngest coaches in professional sports. I mean, I'm of course making that up, but like they're very young. Maybe this is just sort of
what? Second time you've done that today. Second time you've said a stat and then said you made it up.
I mean, 75% of
second time
are made up. Listen, you know what I was trying to say though. They're among the youngest coaches out there. I should stop saying that. I'm like the last person who says things like in the absolute like this, and for some reason, yeah.
Twice today already.
I like saying something with confidence and then following it up with, and I mean, naturally I'm making that up, but you get my point.
You've definitely done it twice.
I mean, it makes sense because I don't like saying things that, you know, are absolute.
Yeah, keep going. Sorry. Mitch and I are on a mission to derail you today.
Yeah,
you guys are doing a great job. I mean, this is the perfect group for that. Unfortunately, you guys are masters at the craft. All right, we're done with the Chelsea Chuddle at this point. They need to retire that. That's got to be done at this point, especially after doing it and losing.
Can we talk about how the fact they suck instead?
Yeah, sure. And the rest of the week against PSG, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, they're feeling the effects of no break for 16 months. It's the back end of this season. We all talked about it before the year. Is like, does that Club World Cup run translate to an end of season collapse? And you got to be careful about these legs. There's a lot of players played a lot of minutes on that team.
Yeah,
because every coach has to win now, or they're gone that they've had this season. So there's no way we're rotating or looking at it with a long-term point of view. It would make no sense to do that in the job. So I think they're feeling a lot of like they're going to lose this weekend to Everton. They for sure aren't scoring.
Wouldn't shock me. Yeah, so there are a lot of talking points for the Chuddle. There was the PSG just absolutely decimating Chelsea in two legs. There was, as Jake pointed out, the whole incident wasn't really an incident, but it was Liam writing Dear Diary, whatever he was writing. Yeah. He was really writing a note to Garnacho, who passed it to whoever they Tosin. But the fact he was sort of taking notes and writing notes and having sort of these tactical, brilliant thoughts that he needed to get to his team when they're down like 15-2 in the 82nd minute, like, okay, buddy, like just chill out. You know that this is going to become a thing on the internet, and that's why you're doing it. And it's just
the Sean Dyches of the world must have loved that clip. They must have sent it in their Big Sam group chat, like Big Sam wannabe group chat with them and like the other 9 British guys, and they probably were like, "Look at this fucking asshole."
Tim Sherwood and
yeah. I want to be in that chat. I would love to be in that chat.
Just to fly. I don't need to like participate.
I would send so many messages in there until they kick me out.
I like that as a weekly what if. If you could be the fly on the wall in any football group chat, what would it be?
Bro, I'm going to do an open mic tomorrow just about that. Yeah. That should be a good half. We'll do a half hour of building our dream group chats to be a part of.
That's good.
Nice.
Now, to get access to the Mikey Open Mic Night, not the name, by the way, you got to get in the Sam's Army Patreon. And the Mikey Open Mic, the Open Mikey is an awesome time. So get in the Sam's Army Patreon, get access to that right now. All right, we will finally let Chelsea off the hot seat. They're playing terrible, and I think
Villa sucks. Do you want to say anything about that quickly?
So, do you think it's Villa sucks or United is good?
No, you know where I stand on Aston Villa.
It's true, but can't you give like at least Bruno some flower? I mean, that guy was brilliant that entire game. His passing is unreal. I know that, like,
he's been great
footballer. Yeah,
he catches a lot of shit.
Not from me,
from Tyler especially. But I think he catches a lot of shit from a lot of people, and that's what happens.
Do me a favor,
the United captain, and United isn't winning titles. You get
do me a favor and go to his FOTMob page and go to career if you ever feel like saying something negative about Bruno Fernandes. I don't think that's a good idea. Double-digit goals and assists every year since 2019. and then he missed 1 year, and then he did 4 more years consecutively after that. So
his
I don't think there's a problem with that player.
His assists this season, isn't he going to break records, or is it just
Sure
United
is.
records? Yeah,
well, so he's close.
So shout out to him. Listen, ever since Carrot came on, United has been a different team. And I know that it's like everybody's kind of like, we can't, it's too early to have the conversation. I don't know how you don't give the guy the job, to be honest. I know they've made this mistake in the past, pulling the trigger a little too early. So I understand them waiting, but man,
I quite like Carrick. He's everything that Liam wants to be. He's stylish, thoughtful, hip, cool.
His career, he had an incredible career as well. Which
if the ball fell to him, he would take a clean touch. If he was if it was on the sideline.
Yes. That's where everything really started to go sideways.
Truthfully, you can't come back from that.
That first touch was so bad.
That's why I never liked Greg. The behind the back thing became a stupid bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I actually kind of like that about Greg. All right. Sorry to cut you off. So Tottenham, we got a result from Liverpool. I mean, there's really not much to talk about from that game. Liverpool were awful. I would love to get Tyler's thoughts on it, although he conveniently was busy on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday after their absolutely shitty performance. Shocking. But yeah, that was not an example of Tottenham doing something to turn our season around. That was Liverpool were just god awful. Shout out to Richarlison. The storyline alone, we probably should have bet on him to score at some point. But he's one of those guys that we need. Like, is he going to be brilliant for 90 minutes? No. Is he going to be fucking a dog for 90 minutes? Yes, if he's healthy and he make things happen. So shout out to him. And by the way, while on topic of Tottenham, this game against Atletico Madrid, like, I am now back in on Tottenham being totally safe. We're safe. We're safe. If we have a team that has Van de Ven and Romero at the back, we got Udogie coming back. We had Bergvall came on. This is a team that can compete with anybody, and we can compete. We're not going to beat everybody, but we can compete with anybody. Whereas the team that who
haven't you played that you competed with? Or you're hoping to compete with? Who haven't you played?
We couldn't compete with you. Like, we were just...
You've played everybody, and you haven't competed very well with everybody. So what do you mean you can compete with anybody?
Because we haven't had this team. You're not listening, Mikey. We actually have guys coming back from injury and suspension. And when we do that, we're a totally different team. That's what I'm trying to say. Sam admitted we're screwed and going down. It's best to accept it now. Elliot.
No, I don't think you're going down. Don't you come at me. I was the first one to say you were safe 2 weeks ago. I said, I'm going to enjoy this now.
You're the boy who cried wolf. Nobody believes anything you say right now.
First of all, as you were faltering, I stood strong. So first of all, credit to me. But you guys were never going down. It's fun to enjoy this now, but you're obviously too talented. You just beat Atletico Madrid, who didn't try. I feel good about you guys now.
I hate you so much right now. In this moment,
out of all the results today, out of all the Champions League ties today that took place today, you had the most impressive losing deficit. So I think you're good.
Well, I'll take the first part of that. The second part is obviously completely.
You're not going down.
Meant seriously. Other games, there's really this rest of the slate is freaking terrible. Palace Leeds, that red card basically cost them a win in that game. Brentford Wolves and West Ham. Like, as soon as everybody talked about them being historically bad for Wolves and completely dead and buried for West Ham, they've both just absolutely turned things around, and that makes me a little nervous. I'll be honest.
You know what it was, really?
When they played
Wolves
us.
Guys. No, well, yes. When you're that far behind, all the players are playing. No, those players. Yeah, exactly. Those players are playing for their next job.
Yeah.
They're auditioning every week.
It's true.
You like what I did against the 2-2 tie against Brentford? Here's my game tape in the Premier League. Why don't you sign me?
Listen, the Discord chat is still coming at me about Tottenham. Sam, you can still conceded 7 goals to Atletico, and you think you won't go down with all the emojis. Anthony LaFleur. Okay, fair point. But this is my point. We literally just gave Atletico 3 goals in about 90 seconds in the first leg. And
you do that a lot.
We had a 12-year-old goalkeeper. We had listen, there were a lot of things going on there. Like, I was ready to fire Tudor into the sun after that game and his decision to play Kinski. I'm still, if they fire him, I'd probably be like, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But whatever. He beat Atletico the second round, and we got a draw against Liverpool. So we move. That was a good point by Anthony. All right. FPL, let's give some shout outs here. I assume to Mikey, who's still up $1 million. Bad week. Okay, that's a good start.
Well, I finished above the world average, but that's not a good week for me, Sam.
He's getting so full of himself over here.
I'm trying to win a title.
Mikey is still in first place by more than 200 points in the Council of Elders. Mitch, you are well safe in second place. Tyler is now up into third. Tommy dropping like an absolute anchor here. He's only 1 point ahead of me. That poor lad. Maybe he should change his lineup one time. I guess he's a little too busy.
That's not fun. You shouldn't be saying that shit behind him.
Just a little lesson. I don't want to tell it to his face. Then he might actually do it. We need him to lose, not me.
I'm gonna text him every game week day from now until the remainder of the year.
I actually believe you. I don't believe most of the things you say. I believe that you're going to do that. I don't like it. Sam's Army Discord Sickos League. We got Mikey up top, only by 50. Calm down. Matthew Perry's in second, Jamie Fryer in third, Dave K fourth, and Dalton is in fifth. And then the Sam's Army Podcast League. Luke McCulloch, he's been up there for a while. Anna Cortez is in first, Shane Dunn in second, Mike Evans in third, Pat Howe in fourth, and then Mikey's boy Thomas Senef is in fifth.
Started, by the way. I didn't realize that our league.
So everybody should go check. Started. Go check what's going on in the cup. I just found out. I know. Well, I just found out halfway through last weekend. I won, thankfully. But I actually had an okay week, 55. Now, coming up on this week, we have, I teased earlier, we have the Twin Toilet Bowls on Sunday. So Tottenham, Mikey doesn't know what I'm talking about. Tottenham is hosting Nottingham Forest, and Villa is hosting West Ham on Sunday at 9:15 Central. And so that involves basically the three teams that have the highest odds of going down, in addition to Burnley and Wolves. And then you have Villa, who's been in an absolute tailspin for the last couple of months. So it's just a twin toilet bowls, I guess you would say. And the Tottenham Forest game, I mean, how sad is that this is the biggest game of our season? If not, maybe, I would say multiple seasons, but we just won the Europa final, so I can't really say that. But this is the biggest, game of this season. And if we lost the game and then we go down, you could argue it's actually bigger than winning the Europa final. Oh my God, that's so sad. But yes, this game is so big, and I can't believe that this is my life right now. But this is where we're at. We have to beat Nottingham Forest at home, or all this, excitement and optimism that I'm feeling right now will go out the window so fast. But we don't got to worry about that. We don't got to worry about that. We're gonna win. You disagree, Mikey? You're on Team Tottenham.
I don't take my confidence in your side for a passion or liking of your side. The only thing that could make this more fun is if Ange was still in charge of Forest.
It's true.
I just need, every morning when I wake up, my alarm clock should be you saying match week 31 against Nottingham Forest is the biggest game you've had all year, on loop, because that'll give me from the comfort of my bed. I will say, you know what, my life isn't that bad. Right, and I will get up and I will go forward with my day.
All these Chelsea fans are talking about, we've hit rock bottom. This is so bad. This is so embarrassing. This is when they were losing to PSG, 55-2 or 55-0 actually. And I was like, it could be way worse. I mean, you could be a Tottenham fan right now, and they're all like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
What do you think the result's going to be? Gun to your head.
I think we win 3-1.
You say win with a gun to your head about Tottenham Hotspur?
I know. I do. I legitimately think we have guys coming back from suspension, from injury. We're going to be, we're not going to be nearly full strength if you look at our injury list. But like, we got guys that are coming back. I do feel good about where we are. Obviously, they haven't been playing great, but they have been scrounging out some results. I think at home, I'd like to say at home is like a big advantage. It's not. But I think that we're just a better team with our players, with our 60% complement of players that we are going to have at this game, as opposed to about the 30% complement that we had, over the last couple months. So yeah, I'm confident. I think we win this game 3-1. Fingers crossed. And then Villa West Ham should be an interesting one. Also games this weekend. We have the Tyne-Wear Derby. Newcastle, and I think they're hosting Sunderland, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. They're hosting Sunderland on Sunday. What else? Who do you guys play this week? You don't play anybody. You got the League Cup. Yeah. Okay, so never mind that. Yeah, so there we go. Those are kind of the highlights of the weekend.
You're plus 140 to win, by the way.
Love that. I'm hammering that. I'm hammering, Mikey. Hammering that. 140.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
That's like a free money lock right there. I should watch myself. I'm getting a little ahead of my skis here. All right, we're done with the Premier League. Move on to halftime. Weekly what if, which is something we have to talk about. It's a two birds with one stone situation here. As
wasn't me.
It wasn't me. Weekly what if. What if, Mitchell? What if you were a Moroccan player, or somebody from their federation even, but let's focus on player. You were a Moroccan player who played in the AFCON final 2 months ago. You lost. It was a close game. Brahim Diaz with the penalty, flubbed it, and then Senegal came back. They won in extra time. What if, watching that happen, watching them celebrate, lift the trophy, probably seeing on Twitter and on Instagram all the parades and all the celebrations and everything, after all that, what if, hypothetically, the African Federation came back and yesterday said that congratulations, you're actually the AFCON champions, because Senegal walked off the field for 30 seconds before coming back and finishing the game and playing it out and winning. They award you the win. You're now AFCON 2025 champions. And what do you do now? Are you accepting the trophy? Are you celebrating? Are you like posting this all over your Facebook and LinkedIn and like Hinge profiles? What are you doing?
I can say this comfortably from a high horse that I'm never going to be on. No, I'm not celebrating. I'm not posting. I'm not accepting. I'm not flaunting. Because it doesn't feel like you've won. It doesn't. None of that's so far in the past in terms of like the sporting world, and even in these players' individual worlds, they've done so much football in between that game and today. It's past. It's out of their minds now. Even the players that won on the field on the day, the Senegalese players, it's still kind of in the past for them. To dig something like this up and say, actually, no, Morocco's the winner of this game, this entire tournament. It's there's a conversation during this AFCON tournament about how the narrative around AFCON was like a meme-ish tournament, and how it diminishes the quality of football being played, the quality of player in that tournament, and is disrespectful to the tournament as a whole. And a lot of people heard that argument and said, okay, we're going to change the way that we talk about AFCON, because this is a serious elite international tournament and deserves our respect and deserves to be spoken about in the same way that the Euros and Copa America are. But then they do some shit like this, and it's hard to be like, talk about them in the same breath. Like, this is an unprecedented, absurd move that really nobody in CAF asked for. I don't exactly have my ear to the ground of that federation, but it didn't really seem like anybody was still up in arms about this tournament months later. I don't understand where this came from, and if I'm a player that is on the benefiting side of this new decision, I'm confused and not accepting the medal.
Mikey?
Of course I'm accepting the medal. And you know what I'm going to do?
You would.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to my hometown and I'm going to sit on the back of a pickup truck and I'm going to go super slow through the town center because I am a champion. And above all else, I won. So yeah, of course I'm taking it. It's the correct decision. Should have been made on the field. Shame on the people that got overruled. 3 months later, I don't even know if it was a hell of a fight or if somebody just realized 3 months later that they probably should do something about it. But either way, the ones who lost look like idiots. You ruined a generation's moment in victory. And I truthfully believe that. So
who are the ones that lost? When you say that, who are the ones that lost?
The Moroccan fans, the Moroccan supporters, the Moroccan fans, the people that left that stadium that night, the people who are going to grow up with a finals loss, that they're not going to think that they won. We, as other people who don't care about this, will recognize Morocco as a champion because it's for bands. But there were people at that game who were fucking miserable, I'd imagine. So when Senegal walked off the field, you should have fired the red and white confetti or red and green confetti cannons. And that should have been it.
Yeah, there's no winners, unfortunately, from this. Morocco isn't going to feel like winners. Senegal, now you could argue, isn't winners. You can't.
The players will feel like winners. I feel like the players will feel this.
The
players will enjoy this,
but they're not going to feel like winners. I think there's a difference. Right. There's the day happened. Whatever you say 3 months after the fact doesn't change the events of that day. And really, like you said, it should have been called once the team was brought off the field because they didn't like the referee's decision. Whether right or wrong, stepping off the field, you are forfeiting your right to compete in that game anymore when you take your entire team off the field. And Morocco, the fans there, the players there, like that was a game and a tournament that was going to kind of define a new era of Moroccan football. They're the powerhouses in AFCON now, and everybody knew that. And if they were to able to win that tournament on that day, it really would have given them a tremendous amount of momentum in a World Cup year that they know that they are going to be serious competitors at. But you have this kind of gray area final that you've now decided 3 months after the fact. Nobody's a winner. There's on paper a champion, but nobody feels good about that tournament now.
It's different now. Nobody comes away as winners. Like in everybody's mind, in everybody's brain, Senegal is still going to be the champion, and because they won on the field, fair and square, despite some terrible calls. I mean, like to take your team off the field was an incredibly childish move and should not have been done. And I guess this is the kind of punishment for it. I think the fact that they didn't punish them at the time means that they should not do it. And so I think the decision to take the championship away now and award it to Morocco is ridiculous, absurd, and makes it basically calls into question this whole narrative that has rightly been constructed, that everybody is like, you know what, AFCON needs to be taken seriously. And then they go doing this. So we're back to Mitch's original point, which I think at the end of the day is perhaps the most important and biggest one. It's sad. It's really sad, unfortunately. The fact they made this decision now is so mind-numbingly dumb. Like, I don't even have anything else to say. It's just very, very unfortunate. All right, we'll move on. Around the worlds, we don't have the spicy Minuteman himself, unfortunately. I believe he's calling Champions Cup, CONCACAF Champions Cup games. Week,
if you're listening to him call Champions Cup, I want you to understand that we've lost Tyler, and now we have Tyler with a tilde over one of the letters. I haven't decided which one yet. He put some zest and some pizzazz on those Spanish pronunciations and the players on that pitch. So if you are listening, please join me in acknowledging just how much work has gone into him Hispanicizing it. He's Hilaria Baldwin himself.
I'm gonna have to listen more closely because I don't know if I've noticed that.
It's awesome. Nobody's saying anything in the Discord, and we'll all watch the game tonight, and everybody will talk about it there.
I can't wait. All right. So,
anybody know what match he's on tonight?
He said
no, he might. I think he said it either in the Discord or
watch party. Watch party in the Discord for whatever match he's on tonight.
That's right. Got to get in the Discord to get access to that. Champions League. I don't know if there's really much to be said. You know, it was an interesting game week. There were a ton of goals. The Premier League. One question for you, Mikey, because we came into this, I think it was before the first leg, where you were like, listen, this could be where the Premier League kind of flexes their muscles. And if Newcastle like takes down Barcelona, City takes down Real Madrid, it's kind of like the Premier League sort of demonstrating their superiority based on
Opposite happened.
Yeah, basically the exact opposite happened. So are you saying what's your sort of takeaway from that? It's just sort of soccer. These teams are close enough where the extra financial firepower that the Premier League has is not. It's just not a difference maker.
There's such fine margins in these. I do believe City would have given Real a tie in that return leg had it not been for the early red card. I actually do believe that they had a level of control in the first 20 minutes that I thought was going to warrant at least a tight finish. And I do believe that tie was derailed. Real Madrid are far from fearful, or are far, like, you're not so scared of them without Mbappe. When he comes back to fitness, different story. But that was a gettable Madrid, and I think City will feel hard done by, and at least not given the opportunity to go at it. That's one note. So I do think that was just a fine margin. The first half, or the first 35 minutes of Newcastle's performance today and their entire 90 minutes at St. James Park, they looked great. Eddie Howe, even in loss, and there was a moment around the 35-minute mark where Eddie Howe was screaming from the sideline, and you could hear him, and they were an organized machine. They were winning every duel. The Toney, Joelinton midfield was overrunning, I think, the physicality of Barca. They ran out of steam and started chasing shadows, yes, but like, I think they can be very proud of the Champions League campaign they put forward this season, and I think there's a lot to build off there as far as Eddie Howe's concerned. Anthony Gordon looks a right striker. I think he's going to be very wanted, and I thought Newcastle did play well over the two ties despite the end number being so crooked. And then Chelsea sucks. That's really my ending on that. So I do believe that Chelsea are the furthest behind, the only one that really should be embarrassed about how they performed.
You're including Tottenham in this, or are you just ignoring that?
Yeah, because you want a leg.
Okay, all right, I'll accept that. All right, fair enough. U.S. men's national team, the roster dropped. This is not the official roster, of course, for the World Cup. It's the roster for the games against, who are we playing? Belgium and
Portugal. No, Portugal. Sorry, not Portugal.
I think that's right.
Yeah, Portugal.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're playing Belgium and Portugal. This is the roster that's, the fact that it contained Gio Reyna means that despite what Pochettino said a few months ago, where like from now on we're done experimenting, ignore that. This is a completely experiment. It's not experimental, but like guys like the Gio, he's giving him one more chance. Like, let's see what you got. I know you've played 26 minutes for your club this year, but there is something to be said. We always say the same thing with Gio Reyna when it comes down to it. He brings something to this table that nobody else has. From a creative.
What?
Yes.
Creativity.
Breaking lines with passes. He does, when he's on his game and healthy, he does bring that. And it's international team jersey where he does that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that he's not a creative player. I'm not going to say that he doesn't bring that, but on his day has become rarer and rarer as we've seen him grow as a player. And part of that is due to poor circumstances at whichever club he's at the time. But when he puts on a U.S. men's national team kit, I'll give it to you that he is one of the more creative players. But I'm not sure that Poch values that more than he values like the work rate and the play styles of a Sebastian Berhalter, Diego Luna, Brennan Aronson type. Like it's clear how Poch wants to play is not through a Maverick 10 that is kind of pulling strings and making things happen and playing line or breaking lines. It's too few and far between the moments of brilliance that we've seen from Gio Reyna. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a tryout again on this last roster before the official World Cup roster comes out, but I don't hold him in such high regard like I did a year plus ago.
No, I think that a year ago, most people would probably like, yeah, I would be surprised if he's not on the team going to the World Cup. Whereas now, I would think most people, if they've been paying attention, would be like, yeah, I'd be really surprised if he's on the World Cup roster, just given how much time he's got on the field lately. And Jake just asked in the Discord chat, when was the last time we saw Reyna do anything? Fair point. I mean, was it against Mexico? Maybe. It's just like we haven't seen much from him. But this is Pochettino. I think, if I'm reading between the lines, this is Pochettino being like, okay, I see the potential there, and I want to give him one more chance because I think he does bring something to the table that a guy like Diego Luna doesn't bring, and like Sebastian Berhalter don't bring. Like, I do think, like, I like Berhalter. I like Luna. They got that dog in them clearly, and they bring a lot to the table. I just don't think that they have that sort of world-class vision, if I'm really going to sort of boil it down to one thing. I think that he has that. And I think that that's what Pochettino's looking for.
We're throwing that term around?
Yeah, I think so. I'm giving him that.
Okay.
The potential for it, anyway.
Those that coach him tend to disagree, but we've seen some brilliance for sure. Can I ask you?
No, they haven't said that. They haven't played him enough. If you're reading between the lines of what they're doing, they're not playing him enough to think that he has that. Perhaps, I mean, that's an argument, a fair argument.
And if they think a player has world-class vision, is that best used on the bench?
Well, listen,
how would you use Gio Reyna if you were Pochettino and you were going into this World Cup and you want him on your roster? It sounds like, how would you use him?
I think that you keep him in. He's not a starter. I think you keep him in reserve for a game where we need to unlock a team. We need a goal. We're having difficulty creating anything. 75th minute. Go be yourself. Go do something. Let's see something special. Don't gotta play defense.
Be yourself, kid.
Go do what everybody thinks you can do.
Be
Yeah,
yourself.
Right. Get Liam Rosenior out there. Write a little Dear Diary note for him. Pass it to him. Get him out there. Go do something special. I think that's where he comes in, and I think that I don't know if there's anybody else in the pool that has sort of that top tier. Go do something. 15 minutes.
Well, no. It was world class 30 seconds ago. Now it's down to top tier.
It's world class. Vision. Okay. I said, listen, I didn't call him a world class player. I think that he has the potential to make a pass that nobody else in our player pool has. And I think you need him out there. Let's see. What does Anthony LaFleur say? Pulisic needs to sort out his goal-scoring woes before the World Cup, and I say that as AC Milan fan who also wants the U.S. men's national team to perform at the World Cup. You're right. He's not been in great form lately. But, I mean, listen, you put Pulisic in a national team jersey and the dude performs. So
it's ever since he broke up with his girl.
Is that even official?
Broke up?
I've seen both. I've seen that. It's definitely... It's up. Yeah. Right. Well, that's good. Well, I'm not happy about that. But if we're gonna get like a concentrated, focused Pulisic, kind of like
look at Luka Doncic.
That's what we're looking for. I don't know if he's I don't watch the Lakers at all. I don't know if he's being facetious or not. This is where Mikey's jokes sometimes go over my head, unfortunately. All right, move on. Stoppage time. All right, boys and girls. So.
Damn, that's the overs hat, right?
That's the over hat.
Oh, man, how pumped. You must have eaten today with Barca Newcastle.
All right, that's fucked up.
The overs guy, right?
That's fucked up. Listen, here's this story. I did not make a bet today. And I had FOMO. I had like the biggest FOMO day of my life. Starting out with the Newcastle Barcelona game with 8 goals, 9 goals. So I had a parent-teacher conference this morning.
Well, think about this. You could have upgraded. You could have upgraded to a nicer cabin in Bozeman tomorrow if you had made some bets today.
They got houses and 2 stories and everything out there at times.
What?
Yeah, I know. You're not going to believe this, but they got internet. It's a whole thing out there.
Wow.
Listen, I can't believe you brought that up because I was just,
sorry, I forgot.
Emotionally getting over it. But yeah, so I didn't bet any of the overs. All 4 Champions League games went over. It started with the Barcelona-Newcastle game. I had a parent-teacher conference, so I didn't get the bet in. And then by the time I got done, it was already like 6 goals in. And I figured, okay, well, if there's going to be 9 goals in the first game, then I figured these last 3 games are all going to be sort of snoozers. Wrong again. So yes, Mikey, you got me on that one.
I bet, man.
All right. But listen, never mind the shots we didn't take. The shots we did take last week actually worked out pretty well. We only went 3-2, but we got pretty aggressive with the picks. They were all 3.5, over 3.5. So that means we came out up several units. And you know what? That's a good thing. All right. We're going to take that. So overtrain, 5 aside. We're going to go, since actually we're taping this late, we're taping it on Wednesday. I'm going to give you 2 shots on Sunday, 2 shots on goal. So we're going to go Thursday through Sunday. It's still going to be 5 aside. These are all going, just like last week, we're staying aggressive, all over 3.5. We're going to start on Thursday, where Tigres and FC Cincinnati play in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Friday, we're going to La Liga. Villarreal is hosting Real Sociedad. Saturday, I have no idea how to pronounce this, but I'm going to call it Wallywick because it sounds good. We're going to the Eerste. This is the Eerste Divisie. Yeah,
I'm sure that's right.
Go with it. Walaalwijck. Wallywick. I'm just calling it Wallywick. Okay, let's go with that. They are hosting Den Bosch, and this is in the Netherlands Eerste Divisie. It's the 2nd division. Sunday, we're going to the Eredivisie, the 1st division in Netherlands. Nijmegen hosting Heerenveen. And Sunday, we're going to the Turkish 2nd division, where Erakspor is hosting, oh boy, Erzurumspor. I'm pretty sure I nailed every one of those pronunciations.
I think you probably did.
And well done to me. I'm just going to give myself a little tap on the back. Overtrain, 5 aside, Thursday through Sunday this week, all over 3.5. Mitch, what do you got for us, Ivan Toney's best bet wise?
Yeah, I got 4 picks all on Saturday, and they're all at different time slots. So they're gonna trickle in throughout the day. It's gonna be a really nice full day slate for you. It's nothing crazy, but it'll be a fun one. Bayer Leverkusen money line against Heidenheim. Then you've got both teams to score, Leeds and Brentford. Then you've got AC Milan money line against Torino. And then you have New England Revolution over half a goal is minus 250 right now. You can flex that to whatever you're looking for. They put 6 past, obviously a team with a red card this past weekend. But they started the season off pretty slow. I don't believe in the team as a whole, but I do think they could be a over bettor's dream for this season. I have them at over half a goal, and that's at minus 250. So bet kind of freely there. Put them all together, you're at plus 385.
I like it. Mikey, what do you got?
2 plays tomorrow, 2
this being
players
Thursday
to have a shot. Yeah, yes. 2 Thursday plays, both shot on targets. Both 1 this time, so we're not going to be chasing 2. There'll be immediate gratification moments. Will I be round robining the 2? Yes. But Elliot Anderson is plus 162 for a shot on target against FC Midge, whatever. They are going to be pushing forward. He tends to let them fly, and he's going to play 90. So you can almost take that to the bank. I like that. I was debating him or Morgan Gibbs-White, who also has a pretty good price and as always seems to be pops around the box. Creative finishes, long-range finishes. Morgan Gibbs-White is a creative player, and I think his market's wrong, but I will be taking Elliot Anderson because it's a higher number. And the other player is Stuttgart, who are going on the road down, so we'll be going for it. Their long-range jacker is Jamie Leveling, minus 120 for 1 shot on target for him. Put them both together, plus 380. So that's what I'm playing.
There we go. And also, this is not an official best bet because I stick with the overtrain, but hammer that Tottenham to win.
Plus 140. The books are definitely wrong.
Free money lock. That's a free money lock. Tyler Terrence will pay you back. Guaranteed. Money back guaranteed. All right, GOAWs. Everybody's favorite segment, Mikey especially. So why don't you go first there, Mr. Fowler?
I think the most under talked about piece of humor in the last 5 years, I'm being reactionary, but I think the funniest thing I've seen in a long time is Igor Tudor thinking that was Arne Slot on the sideline. So if you watch, I've watched that video, like genuinely Zapruder film. I've slowed it down. There are a couple tells. So the first one is that he comes out of the tunnel and where the guy's standing is where Arne Slot would be standing. they have similar. Arna's got a bigger head, but I don't think Tudor knows him well as well as he thinks he does. When you know somebody, you know how they physically. You can walk behind somebody you know and be able to tell it's them. He clearly wants to be this guy's friend, but doesn't know him well enough. So it's funny that he's standing in that place. The second thing is the guy's reaction is very like genuine shock. He's like, I think he didn't know who he was. Like he truthfully was like, who is this guy? And then the third is how quickly Tudor did the look around for him when he saw him. So there's a moment, if you really slow it down. So again, I'm talking about when Igor Tudor came out of the tunnel and thought he was like tapping on the wrong shoulder, goofy flirting with Arne Slot. It was just a random bloke. But when he gets face to face with him and he realizes that it's not him, he does like a look away and he goes like, oh, like he pretends like, God, I hope nobody saw that. And it's like everybody's dream interaction coming to light. It's my favorite moment of the last handful of Premier League seasons. It's the funniest thing I've seen all year. It's so good.
You must have watched this like 50 times.
100 times. Watch it again and watch the first 2 seconds after they come face to face. There's a real genuine realization and he starts to do like the excuse like, oh, fuck.
But also not wanting to like completely disrespect the guy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He's like, he's still a guy. He's clearly important. He's standing being there. But dude, it's good. It's really good. If we were really the podcast we think we are, we would try to find who that guy is and interview him and ask him for how he felt when Igor came around. I would pay so much money for somebody to do that right.
I saw a tweet. I don't know if it was valid or not, but I saw a tweet that said that was actually a Spurs employee. That was
so. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
they should be reaching out to him and being like
they should be.
The general media should be reaching out to him and being like, can you tell us what went through your brain right there?
I do like the fact that you slowed it down and like did some X's and O's on it and frame by frame broke down the film.
I swear to God, I did that.
The most Mikey thing of all time to do. And probably
great video.
The first like not person, but just moment or incident as a Goa. It's great.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's quintessential Mikey. All right, Mitch, Goa.
It's going to be ESPN FC's admin for different reasons than Sam's hatred for them. Actually, maybe similar overlap, but they've always been kind of my enemy is a strong word, but rival in the soccer social media space. They've always been bigger than I am and have had a bigger team, but have never been cooler or funnier. And it proves it by this post about Barcelona. So this is from 6 days ago and is still live in this format. The caption reads, suggested version. Pau Cubarsí was seen showing support and hyping up Xavi as he made his Barcelona debut against Newcastle in the Champions League. At just 19 years old, Cubarsí is already showing leadership and supporting the young La Masia talent, now making their debuts just as he did not long ago. The least like social media caption ever, and obviously copy and pasted from ChatGPT because it starts with suggested version. And it's insult to injury. It's bad. It's awful. And insult to injury, it's still live 6 days later. They have dozens of comments being like, "You guys don't want to delete this? You guys, you're not ashamed of this? You're not embarrassed?" I could go comment something absurd on every single post from anything older than an hour ago. They will not see it. If you want to hide a dead body, put it in an ESPN FC comment section.
Oh, I'm glad you remembered that. Yeah, I when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is just. I just, the thing about them is that I don't hate them. You had a actual competition with them. I've never been in competition with them, but like it's just like I just don't like the way that they. We've talked about this before. They just have 4 teams. They have Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Ronaldo. That's like their 4 teams. I guess you could maybe throw Messi in there. And they just fawn over them constantly. It's just like
the post itself, the point of that post is to show Pau Cubarsí high-fiving his teammate who's now making his debut. That was the entire that's the whole thing. The post was about.
So stupid.
It's just, which is just really groundbreaking.
You guys just don't get it.
I don't.
It's true. I do not.
Don't have that simple
actually,
brain.
Honestly, Mikey, I do. They do it all they care about is engagement and eyeballs, and they know Barcelona and Real Madrid specifically bring those, and Ronaldo and Messi bring those to the table. And that's why that's all they post about. So I do get it. I don't fuck with it, and I don't respect it. All right, my Goa. So I got a Barcelona fan, staying on the Barcelona train here. Barcelona fan who went to the wrong St. James Park.
Story.
They tried to go to Newcastle. They came in for the Champions League game last week. They tried to go to Newcastle and somehow ended up at like Exeter City, which apparently their stadium is also called St. James Park. I mean, the amount
That's so sick.
The amount of
the best part is what happened next.
Well, yeah, didn't Exeter kind of like
they took him in? They were like, "Come on in, man!
Yeah, you're welcome to come back anytime." I mean, it's a good way to great, actually, just very smart move by Exeter City.
It's an awesome story. I love that story.
The amount of stupidity that it took for that to happen, though, is just incredible. Also, Neymar misses a game on or near his sister's birthday for the 10th straight year. Shout out to Neymar on that one. Every year. His consistency is just remarkable. Although now he's in Brazil, so it actually makes more sense. My actual goal, though, we already talked about it, CAF, which is the Confederation of African Football or whatever. Just the fact that they reinforced the narrative about sort of African soccer should not be taken seriously is so stupid. After the tournament itself was, I think, just such a huge step forward for them to do this. It was just, it's not even like shooting yourself in the foot. It's shooting yourself in the dick. And it's like, you're not going to have any more babies. You can't have babies now. I don't know where he came up with that metaphor. But yeah, we'll go with CAF. I made that up, just like all the stats that I said earlier. Yeah, just a huge, I just think, unforced error that is just unforgivable and just a really stupid move. So they get the go from me. And there we go. Everybody in Discord chat, you guys are the best. Mitch and Mikey, love you dearly. If you're not in Discord chat, everybody get in it. We'll be back bigger, better, maybe faster, stronger next week. See you guys then.